Yes, you're good.
Warrior logo.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Muscuda High School, and welcome to this episode of Inside Indian Athletics. Tonight, we're going to be joined by a couple of bowling Indians. We're going to be joined by Indian bowler Marcellus Goodnecht and Coach Eddie Goodnecht. It's going to be a big night here on the Indian Sports Network. Basketball season and winter sports are underway, and following this show at 7:30, we'll have girls basketball for you against Riverview Gardens. But first, when we come back, Coach Eddie Goodnecht of the bowling team will join us. We'll be back in just a moment on Inside Indian Athletics.
Warrior logo wear doesn't just print gear. Since 2018, we've been helping organizations build identity, unity, and pride through high-quality branded merchandise and streamlined fulfillment solutions. Want to simplify your branded merchandise and look great doing it? Just contact us at info@warriorlogowear.com or call our number at 618-566-6864. You can also visit our location at 12 East Main Street, Muscuda, Illinois, 62258.
We're back on Inside Indian Athletics. We're joined by bowling coach Eddie Goodnecht. Coach Goodnecht, you're succeeding Coach Stubb with a lot of success as head bowling coach here at Muscuda. What was it like to follow that?
Well, it's been a great experience working with Coach Stubb. Coach Stubb and I have a professional relationship and a personal relationship dating back to 2020 when I first moved here. Coach Stubb and I worked together, and when he and I started together, we did a lot of talking about some of our activities and things that we like to do. And previously to being here, I was a coach in Oklahoma, and he and I talked about coaching quite a bit, and I wanted to get into some coaching venues here. We talked about football, baseball, basketball, softball, all these different things, and he told me, have you ever taken the thought of coaching bowling? And I told Coach Tubb that I didn't think bowling was a sport, but I thought it was a recreational activity. And he has since then changed my opinion on that. Bowling is probably one of my favorite sports now, and I really love the idea of these bowlers being able to compete not only with their peers, but with the lanes and with themselves.
So talking about bowling and just kind of starting to think of this sport, how long have you been bowling? When did you get into it, and what's that been like?
So interestingly enough, I'm not a bowler. I wouldn't call myself a bowler. If I had to tell you, my best score was like a 110. I am not good at it, but those who can't teach or coach, right? So it's been a pretty interesting experience. I have some professional certifications that I've gone off to, like Columbus, Ohio, to be a USBC bronze level coach. So I've gotten certifications, I've done a lot of training, and there's been a lot of experience on the lanes with the bowlers in the last 5 years, I would say.
All right, talking about that experience with those bowlers, as a coach, how do you help them with skills, keep them sharp throughout the year?
So throughout the year, we have a training binder of lesson plans that I put together from various different coaches that we've worked with in the past, some professional bowler insight, some of the forums, and I put it together in a way for us to structure our season to go from intermediate bowling all the way up to advanced level play. And each one of the boys has a copy of this binder. They have their Google Calendar that lets them know from the day-to-day what it is that they're going to get into at practice. We go to practice, we open up the binder, and we go through the lesson plan step by step. So it gives anybody an opportunity from a beginner all the way up to an intermediate or an advanced bowler the opportunity to learn on some of those drills.
All right, as a head coach, what's it mean to have your son on that team and get to experience that kind of with him?
It's actually been pretty great, considering the fact that I've been coaching Marcellus since he's been a competitor from a very young age of playing, like I said, football, baseball, basketball. He's been a member of every team that I've coached. There have been a few that I haven't, but he's been a member of every team that I've coached, so it's been a very special bond to be able to go out and learn new things with him. We got here right as COVID had kicked off, so all of the sports in the area they kind of put a kibosh on all the sports, and when they did that, Bowling was available, but you had to wear a mask. So Marcellus said, hey, I'd like to take a crack at bowling. All I got to do is wear a mask. He wanted to compete. He's always been a competitor. So we've been focusing on bowling for the last 5 years. And even though they've lifted those bans from COVID, bowling has been a very big passion for the both of us and for our family.
All right, bowling is so much different than the most sports when it comes to tournaments, team play. So how does that work? How do you decide who plays? What's the strategy with the tournament or match?
So a lot of the strategy with this particular team is we compete on a weekly basis for position. For our varsity, for our junior varsity, and I really don't like the term varsity and junior varsity. I'd rather call them like purple and white because it's one team and anybody can move up and anybody can develop at both of these stages. I've got lessons for them in both spots. There's some leadership roles that they can pursue in the JV team as well as the varsity team, progressive roles back and forth. So like I said, they compete on a week-to-week basis. And what we see on that week-to-week basis will dictate where they're going to be so far as our teams are concerned.
All right, you talked about that first, but that score is only 110, but let's leave you with this. What is your favorite bowling memory of all time?
My favorite bowling memory of all time to this point has been at the national championship this past summer, where I got to stand on the lane with my son and watch him potentially bowl a 300, and in that last frame, he threw the ball, and I'm close enough that I can hear him. He let the ball go, and he knew when the ball released from his hand that it wasn't a good ball, and he said, nope, very quietly, but I could hear him, and the ball went down the lane, and he got everything but 2 pins with a score of a 298. A 300 is a perfect score in bowling, so on a national stage in front of lots and lots of people, he had all the pressure on him, and nobody had bowled that high that day. And to see him get that close to a 300 on that national stage was by far the top moment for me.
Coach Goodnecht, thank you so much for coming on today. We're glad you could join us, and thanks so much. Good luck the rest of your life.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much. When we come back, we'll be joined by Coach Goodnecht's son, Marcellus. We'll be back in just a moment.
Your home is everything to you, and we know that. The Law Office of Misty L. Webbles is your hometown hero when it comes to managing your home and belongings. Practicing in estate planning, estate and trust administration, and real estate and guardianship, Misty's Law Office's goal is to protect you and your family. After graduating from McKendree and St. Louis University, Misty Webbles has worked in Muscoda for years and knows the importance of our community. Don't let anyone else handle your family. Trust Muscoda, trust Misty Webbles.
We're back on Inside Indian Athletics. We're joined by Marcellus Goodnecht. Marcellus, how did you get into bowling? I know your dad talked about it a little bit, but what is your perspective on getting into bowling?
My perspective on it is I tried a lot of sports when I was in Oklahoma, and when we moved here to Illinois, I found bowling. My dad asked if I was interested in it, and to be honest with you, I wasn't. At first I wasn't. I didn't really care much about it, but I met a great coach, and he helped me out with a lot of the basics and got me into it more.
All right, Coach Taub was a great coach here at Muscoda High School, a long time. So what was it like to bowl with him as your coach for several years?
It was pretty solid. I enjoyed his coaching style sometimes. He was a very, wise coach. He helped a lot of people with their basic understanding of bowling itself, all the step-by-step ways to be a better bowler. He had a lot of great things to talk about, and he was very wise.
All right, what is your favorite part about last year's team, and what are you looking forward to doing this year?
My favorite part about last year's team was probably the chemistry we had. A lot of us knew each other for a very long time, and it matched really well. Some of the great things that I'm looking forward to with this team is the potential that we have to be an even better team than we were last year, as a team and scores and everything, the placing. Hopefully, I believe that we can probably get to state.
So what's your reliance on your coach versus your ability to teach yourself new skills, and what is that, coach versus teaching yourself?
It's very different. There are certain pieces of my game that I feel that I'm able to take control of myself and know what to do. Also, with like the coach, I usually would need to ask like, what different ball should I use? What are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Anything like that. Anything mental as well.
All right. How do you keep yourself sharp throughout the year? It's a long season, so how do you keep yourself engaged?
Well, I have a goal. I would like to win. It's pretty simple. And I try to come to practice to work every time and try to be the best bowler I can be for my team.
All right. Talk to us with your dad a little bit, but what is it like to have your dad as your coach and experience your last couple high school bowling seasons with him?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting. We definitely have our ups and downs, but I mean, I think it's wonderful for us to have not only father and son relationship, but our coach and player relationship. And he's been a coach like all my life, life coach, sports coach, with any of the other sports I've been able to do, and it's just kind of as business as usual.
All right, what is your personal best bowling score?
My personal best bowling score is a perfect 300.
All right. And then lastly, I'm going to leave you with this one here. What is your favorite bowling memory?
Well, it might be a little similar to what my father had said. My 298 at Nationals was one of my favorite memories because of the team that was around me at that time. We had a rough time there, and it was nice to have a relaxing, like, good game, and of course, like getting so close to 300 was very nice.
All right, Marcellus, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Glad you're on. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to be back in just a moment on Inside Indian Athletics.
Rinsing Ag Solutions owner Andrew Rinsing puts his many years of agricultural experience to work. We serve neighbors, friends, and family who we are honored to call customers. We employ a business model that prioritizes farmers. We're able to offer premium products at the lowest possible prices. We also offer drone and ground rig spraying services for farmers and sell Pioneer seeds. To learn more about Rinsing Ag Solutions, visit our website, rinsingagsolutions.com.
Welcome back to Inside Indian Athletics as we're going to close it down here tonight. A couple quick reminders, we will continue to have our show every Monday. Coming up after this game, 7:30, we will have Lady Indians basketball. They'll take on the Rams of Riverview Gardens. And then later on this week, Friday and Saturday, we'll have the tip-off tournament from Triad. The Indians will play Mount Vernon, Triad, and Collinsville later on this week in hoops. And with that, we are going to say goodnight for Avery Beer for the Goodnecks. My name is Alan Dresser. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in a little bit for some girls basketball.